What's up, everybody? It's Monday, and y'all know what it is. This is the Fade Hour. This is the Golden Voice, Mall, Brews, and Boxing. I got me a stout on deck, and when we say the Fade Hour, we want y'all to go ahead and put down your tablets, put down your laptops, and pick up your favorite drink, your favorite smoke, and let me go ahead and kick it around the room. Let my fellas introduce themselves.
What up, y'all? This your boy News, representing Ringside Rave all day. Y'all know what it is with me, man. Listen, man, I know the last couple episodes I've been a little, against boxing, the new AB, but I'm going to still be on it today, man. PBC is not pacifying me no more, man. I got the cookie dough, I got the OG, I got the Ciroc. I'm turned. Let's go. I'm ready. It's the Fade Hour. Let's get it. It's Monday morning, Monday evening. I don't care. That's how turned I am.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smoke at Free Smoke Boxing. Normally, I'd be talking about the different exotic weeds that I have, but your boy Smoke's on a smoke break because he's trying to procreate. And also, if you want those Free Smoke Boxing t-shirts, just holla at me.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's Pat Scorpion, another representative. And I'm chilling here right now with this glass of Merlot after fish now and these black rice and beans, man. Or black beans and rice, excuse me. So, yeah, let's get to this.
One of y'all, Mike Hissing. What's up, y'all? It's Leon at the champ side.
Bad. Oh yeah, and actually, this is the 24th anniversary, 24-year anniversary that Mike Tyson got released from prison today. I don't know, I just randomly saw that. But
hey man, anytime someone gets released from prison, it's a celebration.
Already been 24 years.
For someone.
Yeah, 1995. I just want to throw that out. I had saw that. So but yeah, who was able to see the fight last night? Lamont Peterson's last fight went out on the shield, almost went out in his face if they would have kept going. Lipinets talking trash, talking about 147. He proved last night that's where he's supposed to be at. I don't know about all that, but I want to see how y'all feel about that. If y'all were able to catch it last night, or even some of the highlights and something like that. So it was a good card. So I just want to see who was all able to tune into it.
So, all right, let me go first. I'll do it real quick. I saw it last night, and I thought the fight was outstanding. On paper, it wasn't outstanding, but the fight was a war. Like it was a phone booth war. And Lamont just simply, man, too old, too used up, man. Let the smaller fighter, wear him out, man, and drop him, man. It was sad though, but Barry Hunter came in there, had to save him. I was feeling that. Like I said, Lamont, he had a very up and down career, but at least he went out on his shield and gave us an early fight of the year candidate for PBC, especially for PBC. It's the first one this year. So salute Lamont Peterson for that.
Yeah, so Lipinets and Peterson, they had a good fight, and part of the reason that it was such a good fight is because neither one of them tried to play defense at all. It was just straight punches landed and nothing else. And one of the things with Lamont Peterson that he has always struggled with is he really can't throw a straight punch. Everything is kind of like curvy and just weird. And Lipinets has that unorthodox style. So it turned out a fight that wasn't good on paper ended up being I would say an 8.5 out of 10 overall. Barry Hunter had to throw in the towel. Lamont Peterson retired afterwards, all that stuff. But before that, he got beat up something serious by Lipinets.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Lipinets has made it far because if you think of a dude that came from kickboxing with his style and is unorthodox that it is to have him knock out a dude like Lamont Peterson, it's a good stepping stone for Lipinets.
Yep. But 147 is not the deal for him.
No, he's too small.
Yep.
He's too short.
Man, I personally thought that Lipinets did what he's supposed to do to a Lamont Peterson. If y'all forgot, I've always been a fan of Lipinets' skills. When people ask me, "Oh, what does he do? What is that?" Hey, Lipinets has talent. It is what it is. Lamont Peterson, he was on his last legs walking in there and got sent out the ring the way he should be. And that's what's supposed to happen when you're an old fighter. I mean, no disrespect, but when you're an old fighter and you shouldn't be in the ring with me, I'm supposed to let you know that. That's what Lipinets did. I don't say, it's boxing. It's a man's sport. You
are not lying.
You know, that's what's supposed to happen.
I mean, Lamont Peterson's been boxing since I graduated high school.
Yeah. Spence, then Lipinets. After that, it's like, hey, you got to hang it up. But I thought Lipinets did what he's supposed to do. Like I said, I don't think he should be at welterweight at all. I think he'd be better at 140. And then because he hasn't even fought nobody at 140 that's a legit 140 pounder except for Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia's only fought at 140, twice?
Yep.
Against Lipinets and AB. And he's not really going to stay there. And even against Mikey Garcia, even though he lost that fight, he'd had a decent showing for himself in there. So I think at 140 he'd be good there. I'll let somebody else go before I really get into the careers or everything else of Anthony Peterson and Lamont Peterson, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Leon, you was able to catch it last night, homie?
I mean, I caught a little bit of it. I had it on in the background more so than anything, but you know, I mean, props to Lamont Peterson. You know, he went out in his hometown. He's been fighting for a long time, so I ain't really got much to say on it that y'all haven't already said.
Definitely. When y'all, speaking of Lamont Peterson, when y'all look back on him, what is his defining win? Is it the win over Khan when he won the belts?
Yo, so the funny thing about that is his defining win, right? As we're going to talk about now, is not a win at all. The thing that Lamont Peterson is famous for is for his quote unquote win over Amir Khan. That was 10 years ago. And if we took a poll of the 6 people here, how many people actually thought that Lamont Peterson won that fight?
I sure as hell didn't. Nope, not me either.
It was like a drawish to me, but there was a lot of fuckery in that fight, and a lot of fuckery in the audience too. Like a lot of Pakistani fans got their asses whooped for talking out of turn. I remember that.
When I think of Peterson, I always think of the Danny Garcia fight. How much everybody was like, "Oh, he won it." That invoked a lot of controversy. I remember that decision.
And really, Peterson's only really known for his losses more than his actual wins. He's won 3 belts and he has that regular welterweight title, but really, we all know him for his losses. Lost to Tim Bradley, getting killed by Lucas, getting killed by Spence, losing to Danny Garcia, which, I personally thought he lost by 1 point because he fooled around too damn much. And then, so on and so forth, man. So it's unfortunate that's his legacy right now. A lot of his best wins are not wins that most people have even seen.
What, Kendall Holt?
Yeah. What you think? My bad. I was going to ask P. What do you think about Lamont Peterson, his career and things about? And when we're reflecting on him, giving him his happy trails.
He didn't like we just said. He doesn't really have any career-defining wins. More either fights that people thought he should have won but didn't, or fights where he got knocked out in. His knockouts were highlight reels. But I would say that if nothing else, Lamont gave us entertaining fights and went out on his shield. So not much I could say. He was a two-time champion, right? So he was a champ, and he gave us entertaining fights. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah. Whether he won or lost, he gave us entertaining fights. So at the end of the day, that's good enough for me.
His most entertaining fight was versus Khan. Bradley blanked him with a knockdown. Matisse knocked him out in the 3rd round. I can't think of solid...
but even when he lost, it wasn't you could say that the first half of the Garcia-Peterson fight was bad, but even in his losses, and actually the Spence kind of just beat him up the whole fight. He didn't even do anything. But, it was still provided action for better or worse. So, what I'm saying? Even in his losses, still provided some entertainment. So,
I don't know. That Lucas fight, he got beat up like pretty quickly and he was done real quick. He wasn't sitting in that fight. He was just getting his ass whooped.
It was a highlight reel. So I mean, he provided us with a highlight reel.
Yeah.
I mean, against Bradley, I think I can at least say that he didn't pull a Devin Alexander. So I can give him props for not doing that.
That is very true.
Yeah. So, like I said, he gave us he gave us entertainment. So gotta give him props for that.
Right, and just to transition on, I'm gonna open the floor up to y'all, man, and let y'all just go ahead and speak and let's freestyle a little bit, man. I know it's been kind of a slow last few days as far as boxing news, so we just want to try to take a different approach today. And I just want to open the floor to the fellas, and we can just freestyle any topic you guys want to throw out.
I got a question specific for News and Leon.
Okay.
All right, so we were touching on this a little bit before. So, would you guys rather see a fight where it's A caliber fighter versus A caliber fighter that ends up being like a 4 out of 10 in terms of the fight, or B caliber fighter versus B caliber fighter? AKA names that the public wouldn't necessarily know, but we as boxing heads know, and it's like all fireworks, like 8 out of 10 fight.
You like give me King Soar versus Estrada, as opposed to like
Spence Porter, and let's say it's a stinker.
Well, I want to see that.
Oh, I mean, we could have just said Mayweather Pacquiao, but
okay. So there you go. News, Leon.
I want to see the best fighters fight.
I was about to say the same thing. You already know that. I'm taking the A fighter versus the A fighter because for me, I'll let you speak, Leon. I already got my statement for that.
No, I'm just gonna say I would choose to see the best fight and the best every time, and I don't know how it's gonna end up.
Right.
But I see what you're saying. I still want to be entertained. I still want to see a good fight. So I wouldn't want to have to choose, but yeah, I'm gonna always choose for the best fighters fighting the best fight, and the two best fighters or the top 4 fighters fighting each other. And we don't know what's gonna happen. It might be a real chess match, and it might be, it might not be action packed, but
right. You just kind of need more context on who the fighters are and shit like that.
I mean, there's a difference between not action packed and like complete bullshit. I don't know. I feel like there's a fine line between the two.
Agreed.
Like some of them, it's like it didn't live up to the hype, but it wasn't like bad. And then you have your stinkers that are just like, I never want to see that ever again.
For me, I look at it like, when you have the best versus the best, you can't expect it to be a dominant performance either way. They are the top of the line. Like, just like you asking me, would I rather see Lamont Peterson versus Sergey Lipinets, or would I rather see Canelo versus GGG for 3? Because that wasn't exciting to me. But those are 2 A-class fighters.
True.
And Lamont Peterson and Lipinets was way better.
Right. So, in a sense, are you saying like Canelo and Cotto, or the undercard, which was Vargas and what was it, Mayora?
Mirror. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one was
kind of perfect example, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
was like that stole the show. That's one of the violent fight. And then you have Canelo, which everyone expected, to him to get rid of Cotto, having a competitive 8-4 fight with him, which was just sad to me. Especially after seeing some real Mexicans go to war, and an Asian go to war. So it's just like, I'm over that mentality, like, having, A-level fighters, having that mentality of them being like having the because most of the time it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as much as it used to. So it's like you gotta look farther down the card because you never know. Some of the fighters are actually hungry, and they want to find a good show. They want to get that attention. So that's where most of my anticipation is.
I look at it like that's what they're there for, though. Like they are the crash dummies before you get to the main course. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're there to beat each other up, bash each other heads in, bleed, so the crowd can be happy before the stars come out. Once the stars come out, you get the main event. That's why it's literally called the main event. You know, that I want to see that. I want to see an A fighter versus A fighter. I'm not going to be mad that Mayweather. I wasn't mad at Mayweather Pacquiao. I felt like it was Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I didn't expect Pacquiao to be able to get his normal off on a Floyd. It's Floyd. Mm-hmm. Now, if he was fighting someone that was a B fighter, like an Adrian Broner, in comparison, he would get his stuff off. It's a lot different when you fight lesser caliber fighters. It's just like, hell, when you play a video game, I don't know if y'all play video games, but when I'm playing 2K on Hall of Fame versus when I'm playing 2K on All Pro, LeBron's stats looking different. You know, I might put up 70 on All Pro. Mm-hmm. On Hall of Fame, it's hard to get 30.
So my thing is, I want to see when two A fighters fight. Obviously, you can't because of the skill levels. You can't always have like a barn burner. But you have fights like Porter Thurman, right? Like that's like an example of two A fighters like going broke.
Yeah, exactly.
So for me personally, I would rather see and this is all dependent on how you quote unquote rank fighters, but I would rather see Chocolatito versus King Sor the first time than, you know, Errol Spence versus my boy Mikey Garcia.
Yeah,
right.
Ditto.
I love to see that Earl. I might watch that Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia before I go to sleep tonight.
So and that's the whole thing. That's what I was trying to gain. For me, so when like I know the fighters, like I know who they are, that obviously brings an element to it, right? And so when they're stars, obviously that's another element to it. So I'm not talking about like the first card or the last of the prelims or the first fight of the undercard, like where you're seeing on DAZN and you got a D fighter versus a C fighter and they're just going to war because they don't have the skills to fight any better. And I think last night was actually a really good example of that. Because Sergey Lipinets isn't that skilled. Lamont Peterson was never really that skilled. He was always really just someone who would get in really good shape and fight that well. But they ended up putting together on a pretty damn good fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's also rare though that high level fighters actually put on like the best fight of the year. I mean, let's pick this example: Bradley versus Provodnikov. That's not really high level to. I mean, two of them are not really high level to me. And yes, I am hating on Bradley right now, Smoke. But however, those two
had
probably the most violent fight I've seen in the last 10, 15 years. You know, and that's a memorable fight. People still talk about that fight. So it's like, you know, it's like having the high level fighters, like the expectations for them to actually do anything. It's like it's really dimmed. It's like, you know, the last like 10 years, like it's been like the people underneath that's had like the best fights of the year, you know. So it's
last year Canelo Triple G2 was probably the best, and it was probably the two best, you know, quote unquote fighters for a card. So that was the biggest fight and the best fight last year.
But they gave that to but they gave Fight of the Year to like Laura and Herb, which I had no problem with either.
I mean, probably one of them or a couple of them did, but there's so many different awards that go out. I saw Canelo Triple G get it a couple of times.
Right.
But, I mean, if it's something significant like a unification fight, like that ends up being like really, really entertaining, I guess that does mean something. It's got to mean a little extra something. It's like if it's something significant, but I don't know. I just feel like with that attitude, it's like, are we looking at the names or the quality? And it kind of almost like with some of you guys, it seems like you were basically saying that the names are more important than the quality, which is fine. But I don't know if I can rock with that 100%.
Mine is the other way around. Mine just always there should be quality. I mean, I like to see quality, you know, over the name. Like,
yeah, but usually
my thing is this.
It's not like we're talking about Adrian Broner. If we're talking about Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia, we're not talking about a Broner versus somebody else card. So usually the quality and the name go hand in hand.
Right. That's what I was about to say. When I'm bringing up these fighters, when I say an A fighter, the quality and the name go hand in hand. Like you said,
their performance different.
Right. If that, like, for me, it's like y'all content with getting a good meal from Wendy's for dinner.
Analogies.
Because you know what I'm saying? It's a good meal. It tasted good. Me, I'm gonna go to Five Guys and get my burger. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the day,
make shit anyways.
I mean, at the end of the day, my burger is more high quality than your Wendy's burger. You know what I mean? My fries are better than your fries. I would rather have that combination and see how that's hitting for rather than some Wendy's. I mean, seeing Lamont Peterson and Lipinets is the equivalent of eating Wendy's and being satisfied. That's what it is to me. I'm more concerned with seeing a Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz.
It's almost. I mean, I get it because it's almost like how like with basketball. So like, you know, some hardcore NBA fans are always like okay with just seeing the Jazz and the Hawks, whereas then some people want to just see the Lakers and the Warriors and shit like that. So I mean,
see the best go at it. It's like, listen, what was the Super Bowl? Would you rather seen the Patriots and Rams? What was that score? Like 13-3.
It was a disgrace,
right? But those were the two best teams in the league. Would you rather seen the Seahawks versus the Cowboys?
Oh, whoa!
I forgot.
See, some other shit there. Ain't no one want to see no damn Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. So sometimes the best, you might get a 13-3 game in the Super Bowl. You're not going to get 50. You're not going to get 50-35. You're not going to get that because they're too good for those. That's how I look at it.
13-3. You just say they were too good for it to be a high score game news?
Huh?
Did you say 13?
Rams was cat, man. Good? Don't ever say that they was the best.
No, I'm saying the Patriots and the Rams. Those two teams are good teams, great teams. That's why a 13-3 game is something I would expect. I wouldn't expect to see a game where they're beating a team 52-14 in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't expect to see that type of fight. I don't see, like, bringing it back. I never understood why people expected to see Mayweather put him on an amazing performance. You know how Mayweather fight if you follow him, Floyd.
You're right.
Like, I don't expect to see why they see Deontay Wilder think he's going to outbox somebody.
Right.
You should know how Deontay Wilder fight if you paying for him.
Yeah, right. Hey, let me ask y'all a question. With speaking of Deontay Wilder, and this kind of just goes to what I was just thinking at the moment. With him proclaiming that he's like kind of a free agent going forward, do you guys expect more boxers to try to have that leverage where they're free agents and try to be rogue as opposed to just signing exclusively to a promoter or a network? Like, do y'all think?
Ain't everybody kind of doing that right now, though?
Right. I'm asking, like, do you expect that to kind of be the boom or the next trend when it comes to boxers to be like, I'm not exclusively with PBC Showtime.
How big you are.
You think so? You think that'd be more contingent of how big you are, Leon? Pause.
Yeah. Yeah. It depends on your how much weight you hold in these divisions, what kind of belts you got. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to see fighters do the LeBron at the second stint with the Cavs things where he was like, yo, fuck that. I ain't signing more than a 1-year deal.
Right. Yeah, me too. Just be like, he kind of doesn't, in a sense, doesn't Mikey proclaim to do that?
I don't know.
I don't think
Mikey for a hot minute.
I don't think Wilder is a real free agent.
Work with Bob Arum again.
Right, yeah. What you was about to say, Leon? I'm sorry.
I don't think Wilder a real free agent. I think he just using that to go over to Fox, because he appears on Fox a lot, but he never gonna fight off the Fox or Showtime. I don't see. Now that they made that move, he ain't going nowhere. Trust me.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, because I was wondering, like, will we ever really see a big name star or even somebody that's known in the boxing world be like, fight on ESPN, have a title fight on ESPN, then go over to the Zone, then go over to PBC and just kind of be rogue, kind of like you said, like LeBron Darrell Reeves type of thing. I just wonder if that will ever become a stickler going forward if they realize that maybe the money really isn't going that route as opposed to just being tied to one network.
I mean, the only way that's going to happen is like really by purse bids, and I mean, like I said, so far, like only Maurice Hooker's the only one that's actually signed to the Zone, fought on ESPN, and then brought himself back to the Zone because he managed to keep his belt. I mean, but then that was only done because of a purse bid that Top Rank won. So he had no choice. And it's more or less if more purse bids are enforced, then we could possibly see that happening.
Well, we've seen it happen in the last couple of years, but y'all forgot because the Cash King, he ain't back until next month on 420. Cash King Khan, he been bouncing all around these networks lately. ESPN Plus, HBO pay-per-view. He'll be on PBC.
But it's different. He's glorified cannon fodder at this point.
That's also true.
I mean, we bringing up he'd beat Maurice Hooker. I'm just saying, y'all got to quit underrating Khan, man. He only losing to the best. He ain't losing to a Maurice Hooker type of fighter.
But they bringing him in just for that.
They wouldn't bring him in for a Maurice Hooker.
I feel like
bring him in. That's an L for Hooker. He ain't beat a Khan yet.
I feel
he
like
ain't even faced the Khan.
I feel like it's stuff behind the scenes where fighters wouldn't be able to hop networks like that just because you would be severing ties and relationships with people who investing in you. So like all that jumping over, from here to there, that's exactly why Wilder brought up how he felt like Showtime, quote unquote, felt like family. You see what I'm saying? So like if a network is choosing you, they're gonna probably offer you way more than if you want to say, okay, I want to be here for one fight, then they're gonna offer you a lot less. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the business too.
We don't even know how much he's getting though. And that's what I was saying like 2 weeks ago. I knew that was gonna happen. He was gonna turn down the deal. He's going to talk about Showtime, but we're never going to hear the numbers Showtime gave him. And when we do hear the numbers, it's not going to be $20 million from the fight Dominic Brazil.
Hell no.
He's not getting that. He said 12, 15, and he laughed at it. He's not getting $20 million to fight Brazil. Yes, he will. He's going to get it in the undisclosed, unknown. Let's use our imagination and imagine that Heyman sliding him another $19.5 million under the door deal they're trying to run on us. Right. That's crazy to me. That's like the whole idea of even credit. It's just like you're using stuff that's not there. Like these dudes are making up paychecks and amounts, and we're running with them. We ain't never seen them getting. I just can't imagine them getting.
You mean like the Zone?
I mean,
you describing the Zone.
With the Zone, I gotta see. I ain't seen Canelo complain about his checks yet.
I ain't seen Tevin Farmer complain about his checks. Nigga is happy as hell.
Canelo turned his back on HBO and went to the Zone.
He said the hell with HBO.
We talking money, and I want to kind of bring it to a real life scenario. And I'm gonna ask y'all a question that has nothing to do with boxing.
Real quick, because we got about a minute.
Yeah. So for those of y'all that don't drive, Lyft, or Uber, when y'all ride it, do you
pause?
Tip the driver?
Right when I was about to take a hit, man. Come on.
Nah, for real.
What did you say? You got to repeat it, man. When you get that pause, man.
So
threw me off.
When you're using ride sharing services, right? The same thing is if you're going to a bar and getting a beer or something like that, and you get out the Uber, whatever. They ask you to tip like $1, $3, $5 or whatever. Do y'all tip for that shit?
Man, I ain't never
tipped Uber. If they're pleasant, you know what I'm saying? Like if there's pleasant conversation and then there's nothing to do, nothing to piss me off, then yeah, I'll give him a nice tip. If he's driving like a madman or he's driving like he took a hit of some shit, then I'm gonna give him a negative review. I've done it before. I'm not afraid to do it again.
As a guy who actually does Uber and Lyft from time to time, actually motherfuckers do not tip. And I be going across the way for motherfuckers. Yeah. I drove an hour and a half somebody and they did not tip, dog, and I wanted to fuck them up. But
yeah, I would tip for that. That's a long ass ride. Like I ain't been in an Uber longer than 15 minutes yet. or I mean 10 minutes. So I ain't never tipped nobody. Like I'm only going up the block, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, so here's my thing. Like when I take an Uber or Lyft, it is usually because I have to go someplace that's more than 20 minutes away, right? And I do not want to hear, Mal, no offense, if somehow I'm in Jacksonville and you end up being not my homie but my Lyft driver, I don't want to hear you talking a single word besides like, hey, what up, Smoke? How are you? We're going to blah, 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 blah. But I have had just like a string of Lyft and Uber drivers that cannot shut the fuck up. Someone asked me
I don't talk unless you talk. That's all I do. If you talk to me, then I'll talk to you. That's it.
Bro, this lady asked me the other day if I was listening to R. Kelly, which I wasn't, but she still managed to get her white woman R. Kelly thing in. And it was like, what? Shout out to white women that don't like R. Kelly. There's nothing wrong with that. But
I honestly can't relate to none of this shit because I drive myself everywhere. So, like, no, but I mean, yes, everybody here takes an Uber and Lyft, and I just drive. So,
I mean, I can't imagine being in my car not doing what I want to do. I think that's the problem. I couldn't imagine somebody in my back seat telling me, "Hey, turn here, turn there. Hey, I don't like this song." I'm like, what? Get out! What are you talking about? Now you about to catch these hands. Was that what you about to catch on this ride?
I get it. Like actually, a lot of people I be Uber and Lyfting is that because they have DUIs.
You in my way?
I got DUIs. I can't drive, so that's why they be catching Uber and Lyft because they be having that DUI charge.
Nothing funny about that, Mal.
I know. That funny about that, but yeah, I guess it's a good stopping point, man. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Monday's edition of the Fade Hour. I'm swinging around the room, let everybody get their speak their piece, and then News gonna take us home.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smoke at Free Smoke Boxing. Come and check me out on Instagram or Twitter. If you like the logo, hit me up in the DM. You can get a t-shirt. Holla.
Yo, what's good? Yo, it's Pat Scorpion, the local representative, and this just keep it nice and simple. Keep loving Pat Scorpion. Pat Scorpion loves y'all. Love, peace, and soul. You know what I'm saying?
What up, y'all? This is your boy T. You already know you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bodega Boxing. And right now I'm about to go do a fantasy baseball draft, so leave me alone.
What? Trash. What? What's up, y'all? It's Leon. Follow and subscribe at the Champ Side.
Yeah. Oh, News before you go. I just want to say, Pat, we're gonna have to get you like a food segment because, bro, you be eating like the best fucking food. You be like, I'm eating some damn. I don't know, bro. What the hell you ate tonight? Pause.
Well, I had black beans and rice and some chicken. Ain't nothing fancy about that.
Yo, normally Pat's like, yo, I got some pre-treated Mars spaghetti for fucking dinner.
For like Benihanas.
I'm having a fish that was caught in Lake Harvard that wore a suit before it was fucking grilled.
Right. They didn't even try to say the shit all bashful and whatnot. Like, man, who the fuck eats that shit on a Tuesday
it's
night?
It's Mars spaghetti.
Yeah. Like,
Pat be all casual and shit.
Yeah, you people be doing that.
I really have some lowbrow eating habits. Don't let these guys tell you anything different. I really be eating places I shouldn't be eating that.
Pat is the best humble brag, dude. Like, oh man, I had a snowstorm, so I just decided to work from home for the next 3 weeks. Like, man,
yo, my car's not working, so I just had to take the helicopter to work.
Right. This is the solar eclipse, so I decided to work from the bathroom today and some shit. My bad, News. You go ahead and do your thing.
No, that's good, man. Once again, y'all, this your boy News representing Ringside Rave all day. Another beautiful episode of the Fade Hour. We wrapping up episode 35. I'd like to thank all my fellas for stopping through and having a drink and a smoke with me. Y'all can follow Ringside Rave on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, as well as Spotify. With that being said, we'll be here tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Same place, same people. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Until then, we out.
One.
We out.